Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to crop an image in PowerPoint. Let's say you have an image like this and maybe you want to kind of make it a little bit smaller or cut off some of the image where you can focus in on some areas or like some of the folks in this particular image like this. Maybe you want to focus on these two, or maybe you want to put it into a geometric shape like a circle here and focus on this young lady here. So let me show you how to crop an image and apply some of these effects. Let me go ahead and get out of the slideshow view. So let's get into the basics of cropping first. So basically when you select on an image, you have this picture tools contextual menu available, and under the format you can go ahead and go under the size group and click on the crop command. What it's going to do is it's going to enable these cropping handles, these the ones in the centers here and the ones on the corners. So what we can do is basically we can just kind of hover over the cropping handles and kind of move them into the place where we want to crop. Let's say I wanted to crop there. You can notice that now the rest of the image is grayed out and this image is the cropped image. If I press escape, it will crop that image and now we have that available. Let me go ahead and Control Z to undo and show you how you can use another way of sizing the cropping handles. Another way to crop and make the sizing equal is to use the control key and hold down the control key while we move the cropping handles here. So for example, if I use the cropping handle, press the control key and use the cropping handles here, you can notice that it kind of moves in toward the center from each side. Let me go ahead and Control Z to undo. And I can do the same for the top cropping handle. If I press Control key and left mouse click, it's going to move it equidistantly from the top and the bottom. Let me go ahead and press Control Z to undo that. And also it works for the corners of the cropping handle. If I kind of press Control, it's kind of move it into the center but equidistantly from each of the four corners. So we can crop with equal sizing if you press down the control key. Let me go ahead and Control Z to undo that one. Let's go to another way that we can crop. Let's go ahead and go to this slide over here. Now I mentioned before we can crop into a shape. So for example, the demo here I showed earlier, it cropped into a circle. So what I can do is I can select on the image here and go under the Format tab, go under the crop, drop down here and crop to a shape. So I can kind of choose a shape here, and let's say I choose that circle. Now this is an oval, and basically it's turned it into kind of a oval egg shape here. I can keep this oval, but there's not really a circle shape here. But what you can do is you can go to the aspect ratio here and make it into a square. So basically now it's kind of make it a little equidistant, and it's turned that oval into a circle. And now I can just kind of like hover in one of the corners. I really don't need to press the control key now. I can hover in one of the corners and kind of move it down to where I want it. But if I wanted to use the control key, what it would do is it will kind of put it into the center. If I press Control, you can hover over the cropping handles, and now I can kind of move it over to center and focus on the young lady here. Press Escape, and now I have the crop shape as a circle. Now, of course, there's other types of shapes that you can use. So there's a wide variety of shapes that we can use here, but I'm just going to demonstrate just a circle there. So that's cropping into a shape. Now the next thing that we kind of focus on is cropping and using the fill and fit commands within the crop command. So basically what this does is if you already have implemented a shape with a picture in it, let me go ahead and just delete this one. Let's say that we insert a shape, we'll put a circle in here. Let's go ahead and draw a circle out, or an oval, or try to make a circle. Incidentally, if you want to draw a circle and there's only this oval shape here, let me go ahead and get rid of that one. You can just press the shape, press the Shift key, and just draw it out, and it's going to draw out a perfect circle here. Otherwise, if you didn't do that, it's going to draw out an oval. So that's kind of a tip there. Now, let's say that we had this circle here and we want to insert a picture in there. So I can go under the Shape Fill and go ahead and click under the Picture command here, and let me go and browse for a picture. I have the Insert Picture window come up, and I'll go ahead and choose that picture that earlier. And we have that picture in here, but you'll notice how the picture, the picture when it got inserted into shape, how it kind of got squished in. So what PowerPoint is doing is trying to put the whole image with its aspect ratio within the circle here. Now it's kind of squished everything in a bit. Let's go ahead and go under the crop command here and kind of hover over fill And you'll notice that when I hover over fill, it'll kind of give you an idea of what the fill does. Let me go ahead and just click on here and go under crop, fill. And fill basically resizes the picture, so the picture is filled while maintaining the original aspect ratio. So the aspect ratio here, when you look at the picture, it's almost like a 16:9 aspect ratio. And when I go ahead and click on that command, what it's going to do is it's going to put the picture back in, but retaining the aspect ratio, trying to retain that aspect ratio, but within the shape of the circle. And so what you can do is now you can kind of move things back and forth. And PowerPoint tries its best to kind of fill in this particular image into the shape. So it really didn't do that well. What you can do, what this probably would work best with, is with other type of shapes. So let me go and press Escape. And if I go ahead and click on the format and edit the shape, maybe I want to have another shape. Let's try this shape here, this rounded diagonal shape. And so it gives you a little bit better perspective. If you go back into the format and go into crop and fill, you can see it's kind of filled it in a little bit better. Let me go and press Escape. And if I wanted to kind of move it out here a little bit more, maybe after that, then when I go ahead and click on crop and fill, it's going to adjust it a little bit better. You can see when I executed that fill command, the aspect ratio, it didn't seem as spread out, so it kind of evened it out within this particular shape. So let me go ahead and press Escape to accept that, and let me go ahead and try another shape. And let's go back into the circle. So let me go ahead and get that circle back to demonstrate the fit command. Let me go and delete that and go back and get a circle. Click on the circle shape here, or the oval shape, press the Shift key, and draw out my circle. Let me kind of move it up here, and then go ahead and this is clicked. Go into Format and go ahead and click on Shape Fill, and let's go back to that picture that we selected earlier. Go ahead and get that picture. Double click to get the picture, and now you see that again it has kind of squished the particular image within the circle. It's kind of it's not really proportional. You can notice that I tried to put as much as the image in that circle. But what we can do here is go under Format and go under Crop and use the Fit command. What it's going to do is it's going to try to retain that aspect ratio and put it into the circle. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to kind of resize it and make the size of the image smaller to fit into the circle. So if I click Fit, you'll notice now it's kept the aspect ratio of the image, but it's just made it smaller. So if I press Escape, you'll notice that it's kept the proportion of the image, made it smaller, and tried to fit it within the circle. So if you have instances where you have put an image into a shape and you want to kind of reproportion it, because what it does is usually it squashes the image into the shape, you can use the Crop, Fill, and Fit commands to kind of fine tune it. So that's that for the fill and fit. And one thing I want to cover last is when we go ahead and crop images. Let me go ahead and crop this image. What you'll notice that is the image doesn't really disappear. Let me go ahead and crop it. Let me just move it on to this gentleman here. If we moved it here and press Escape, you'll notice that, okay, it looks like the rest of the image has disappeared, but it hasn't, because if I click on this image and go under Crop again, you'll notice that the artifact of the image, it's still there, so you can really adjust it. But what happens is if you have several of these images like this and you're doing a lot of cropping, the whole image stays there, and it's a pretty large file size when you add up a lot of images. And if you wanted to kind of reduce the file size of your PowerPoint presentation, and you're just kind of putting images in there and you're cropping them, and you don't want to have the rest of the image stay there, maybe for sizes, or maybe you just don't want people to see the images when they go ahead and look in your PowerPoint, what you can do is you can compress the picture. So after I crop this picture and I press Escape, even though it's cropped and looks like that image, that portion of the image is really the only one that's there, there's another piece that's here. We can get rid of that piece by compressing the picture image. So if I selected this and go under the Format tab and under the Adjust grouping, I need to click on the Compress Picture command. So once I do that, it's going to give me the options that I'm going to apply only to this picture and delete the cropped areas of the picture. So if I wanted to do it for all the pictures in the slide, I would deselect that. But since I only want to do it to this picture, let me go ahead and keep that selected, and I want to delete the cropped areas of the picture. So if I click OK and even go back into this image and go under crop, now you notice that the artifacts of that image, the rest of the image is gone. It's just this cropped area. So there you go. There's a brief overview of the crop command for PowerPoint. Well, so you can take an image like this and turn it into something like this or this. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.